Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. Final Friday being bullshit, but that's the title that they give you. Now, it right now this is being uploaded about a day or two after 8 was uploaded, because I kind of needed a break after watching the horrible abomination that was 8. Takes Manhattan. Just, oh my god, that was horrible. But Paramount sold the rights to New Line Cinema, so now New Line Cinema has the rights, and let's see what they can do, right? Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday is not that bad of a movie, actually. It's really good. The premise is at the very beginning, Jason's in Crystal Lake still. This woman goes into a cabin, to spend the night, and she gets attacked by Jason, and she runs out into the middle of the woods, and ends up it being a trap by the FBI, okay? So the FBI shoot the shit out of Jason, and then drop like 2 bombs on him and blow him into pieces. Not small pieces, but pieces, bigger pieces, and his heart still remains with it beating. That should not be happening. Next, his body's taken to, medical place, and doctor is examining his remains and doing the autopsy. During the autopsy, the guy is examining the heart, and the heart starts beating again. And I'm not exactly sure is happening, but it seems like the heart is like, fucking with him in his head or something, and he starts eating the heart, which allows Jason's soul to possess the guy. Then right after that, he kills the guy who comes in and starts saying, "Fuck you, Jason," and shit. And then he kills the 2 guards outside as well, that were outside the room as well. The fact that Jason is not actually in the movie that much is not that bad of a concept, because the 4 people who end up portraying the person being possessed by Jason do a really, really good job at being like, the character Jason Voorhees. We find out, after these killings have happened, that there's a guy named Duke who is a bounty hunter who says there's only one way you can kill Jason, but he's not going to tell anybody, it costs a lot of money. Steven, who is the ex-boyfriend of Jessica, Jessica, who is actually related to Jason, family-wise, ends up going to her mom's house to try to, help to get his girlfriend back. And you find out by, this Duke guy, after she gets killed and Steven gets blamed for the murder and gets sent back to, gets sent to jail, that Duke, for payment, he breaks a couple of his fingers and tells him the only way Jason can fully come back to life is by being reborn through a Voorhees. But only a Voorhees can kill Jason Voorhees for good and send him to hell. So Steven decides to break out because he needs to go protect Jessica, his ex, and his baby girl. There was a lot of deaths in this movie. Like I said, the actors who played the parts did really well. There was still some iconic Friday the 13th killings. There was being a pole shoved through a girl who was having sex with a guy and she gets ripped in half. Another girl gets her head caught through a door like this. One guy gets shoved into a vat of boiling oil, and another girl just gets her fucking teeth just completely shoved inside and everything and dies like that. Really, really good. Steven decides to go to the Voorhees house, and this is where one of the coolest fucking inside scenes happens in the history of horror movies. I love this. Steven is in the house looking around for evidence. He comes by this weird desk that has what's it called? It has, oh my god, I forgot the name of it. I feel so stupid. Give me a second. The Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead, and this is the exact same book prop they use for Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn. He opens it and shows a couple of the pictures that are the exact same, and the dagger from 2 is in it too. The one with the skull on the front and the actual dagger. That is there too. So that right there is just fucking awesome, you know? That is a great hidden scene. I love that to death. Now, Steven decides to hide because some guy comes into, the thing. This is the guy who is dating Jessica now, who's only dating her because she knows she has a connection to the Voorhees. Says that he stole the mother's body from the morgue and put it in the house, for something later on. Steven finds, sees the dead body, ends up falling into the basement. After this, Steven watches as Jason from one body, and this is really weird how he possesses someone else. He like spits out this, I don't know, like a snake thing into the other body, and the other body decays because Jason can only be in a body for so long until it starts decaying and dying on him. And as disgusting as it is, it's really cool too. After that, Steven has got Jessica. They're driving off after he saved her from him trying to kill her or possess her. And as they're driving away, she kicks him out of the car and decides to go to the police station. Steven's left on the ground, and he decides to, his friend cop shows up, and he tells him to take him to the police station. Now, at this point, Steven actually becomes a badass instead of just a nerdy guy, He's able to flip over his handcuffs, grab a gun, knock the cop out, and shoot the guy possessed as Jason just to help Jessica. But at this point, they try to find the the people at the breakfast place. It's a restaurant. Won't let them through because she's with Steven. They still believe Steven killed her mom. After Jason shows up and fucks everything up, they try to find the baby and find that there's a picture. Not a picture, sorry, a note. And this note, says, it's from Duke, and it says, to Jessica, come to the Voorhees house alone. I have your baby. So she does this without Steven even knowing it. She goes there, he gives the baby up and lets her know that only Jason can be killed by a Voorhees. With that in mind, Dukes tells Jessica that she can't trust anyone anymore. And the one sheriff who was like a father to her shows up to the house. Bless me, sorry. Shows up to the house, and so does the cop friend. One of them is possessed. She doesn't know who, and she's supposed to kill one of them. Bless me, sorry. Allergies. Without doing this, so, Dukes gets knocked into the basement and gets up and through his leg, so he's hurt. She won't stab any one of them, so she gets thrown across the room, and it's the newer cop who actually is the one, and he tries to possess the baby. She thwarts him. Steven shows up, they help Duke out of the basement, and Steven asks Duke, he's like, does the being reborn have to be through a living body? He says no, so he uses the dead body of the mother in Jason's back and everything. Steven and Jason are in a huge fight and everything until, Jessica comes out, stabs Jason through the heart. He's starting to, die. She kicks the knife in even farther, and then Jason is dragged to hell with his mask just sitting into the dust. Now, another nifty little scene after this is after they walk off into the distance and they're ready to start their lives again. Freddy's hand comes out of the ground, grabs Jason's mask, laughs, and pulls it down, which is foreshadowing towards Freddy vs. Jason movie. That this movie came out in 1993, and we had to wait until 2004 to get the Freddy vs. Jason movie. Which, that scene right there is just really great. I love that, but it still took a while for us to get that movie, All in all, the movie was really good. There was a lot of great kills and everything. It felt very Friday 13th-ish and completely washed the horrible taste of Part 8 out of my mouth. New Line Cinema took the rights and they actually did something good with it. My final verdict on Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, is an 8 out of 10. It is a very sweet movie. It is very good. It's, not as good as, Friday 13th Part 6. That so far is still my favorite out of the series. but it's way better than 5, super better than 8. And 8 is horrible. Never watch 8. You could actually watch 7, which is still a good one, and go directly to Jason Goes Out the Final Friday. 8 does not even need to be into the picture at all. You can completely negate 8 out of it and everything, because 8 sucks. I recommend that you guys watch this movie. It was really good. It was New Line Cinema's first time doing Jason, and they did a really good job with it, you know. And plus, you know, Sheen S. Cunningham, who is the creator of Jason, was a producer on this movie. So if there was something he didn't think was right, he would have opened his mouth, you know. So yeah, an 8.10, watch it. You can skip 8, go from 7 directly to 9, and it's perfectly fine. Thanks for watching. Have a more phenomenal day.